Today we're taking a look at the ultimate trading toolkit. Some tools, some resources, some apps that you would benefit from as a trader. Most of them are free, a few paid ones here, but I think you will enjoy these because they are good tools that I use myself to trade better and they help you a lot in my trading journey. It'll save you a lot of time, save you a lot of mental energy, and make your trading results better. So let's dive right in. Alright man, there's a lot in there. So I've broken this down into different sections. We'll talk about charts. We'll talk about news, we'll talk about journaling, backtesting, and I believe I have a few resources for Algos for you. How to trade these automated strategies, and that's going to be very packed. So let's dive right in really quickly. Before we do, a quick disclaimer that I'll have some coupon codes below. I don't have affiliates with all these platforms. Some of them I do have affiliates with them, but most of them I don't, and I'll have discount codes for you because it's giving these discount codes to give you, and you can save some money of those paid one. Again, most of them are free, but some paid ones in there. So if you want to grab these resources, you can, and I've tried and used all of them myself. The other thing, some of these apps work only on some Mac devices or some Apple devices. Most of them work on all platforms, but just to be aware of that some of them don't work on every platform. I've also got some Windows only softwares in that too. So just be aware of that. Don't be mad if the resources I mentioned don't work on your operating system. It's possible. I might have some alternatives for you to use in that case. Okay, let's begin with first of all charts. Now, charts, I cannot recommend anything else than TradingView because TradingView is the app I've been using for multiple years. You could use MT4, MT5. These work well also. I use them for Algos myself. But TradingView is just way above everything else out there for charting. Now with multiple brokers, you can place trades directly on TradingView, which makes a huge of a difference. And that's definitely why I recommend TradingView. So I have a link below if you want to check it out. You know what TradingView is already, I'm sure. I have a discount link if you want to have a $15 discount off of TradingView, which is basically 1 month free on the basic plan. But they also have a free version, of course, so you can use it lifetime with some limitation, but still it's free, so it's pretty good. I know there are some other charting platforms out there online, but to me TradingView is way above all these other platforms. So I definitely recommend you use TradingView instead of these other platforms. But that's up to me. If you know a better charting platform, post in the comment below. I want to hear, I want to have a look, and I'll definitely review it next time I have a chance. Okay, when it comes to news, I use 2 different websites. The first one is called Forex Factory. I'm sure you know this website. It's a very popular website for trading, and you can get the news calendar every single day. So you can go to the news, you can go see what's coming up based on your time. You can see in very clear terms what news are coming up for the day. So forexfactory.com, you can just see a list of the news. Here we are, and we have this. Now we are on Tuesday. These are the news for Tuesday we have coming up. So you can see by week, by day. This is only today. So very easy to see the news coming up and which ones are published and which ones are not. And when you have a day where the news are published, you would see the news, so the actual number, the forecast, and then the previous number for the previous month. So you can also have more details if you click on this little graph on the side. Actually over here, the small folder icon, you can see what the news is about, what it means. And it's a cool way to keep track of things. I use it only for the news, nothing else on that website. But I know there's more functions there where you can look at the scanner for different pairs and things of the sort. This gives you a cool understanding of the news and what it means exactly. And you can use this to just kind of know what to expect. So if you day trade, don't trade during these news. Either move your stop loss to break even before the news comes up, or just get out of your trade. Don't enter a trade while there's news coming up. That's a very easy way to lose money. But it's a cool website. Very cool to have a look at this. Now we have important news on the USD. So here at 8:45 p.m. my time, which is 7:45 a.m. Manufacturing PMI. So you can have a look at what this means, what it's all about, what the results were in the previous months. So it's a cool way to keep track of this. It's very nice. So definitely one of the best sites for news. The other app I use, not for news, but for in general sense of the market opening, is called Market Countdown. Market Countdown is an app that's been developed by Nevin Pritani from Urban Forex. I've interviewed this guy in the past. You can check the interview over here. It's a Mac only app, but they do have a version for iOS as well. I've not found anything else similar for Windows or for Android yet. But if you have any recommendation for this, it's basically an app where you can see at the top of your computer which session is on right now in the market, which sessions are coming up, and kind of how many hours before the session close and before the next session opens. So it's a cool way to do it. The other way to do this that kind of works out is this website called Market 24-Hour Clock. So Market 24-Hour Clock, where you can see kind of in detail a whole clock of the sessions coming up right now. So you can, I believe, change some of them. They have a pro version as well, I believe. But you're able to see which time it is right now and which markets are going on. So now we have Tokyo, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore going on right now. Actually, Sydney is still open. But we can have a quick look at these sessions over here. And of course, a gray one will be closed. The orange one will be open. Gives you a bit of a look here. There's more data here. I believe we can kind of filter it out a little bit. And we can see here these different sessions. They have a cool feature, not as user-friendly as Market Countdown, but still works here if you are on a Windows computer or somewhere else. And they have a lot of ads, but it's working fine still. Okay, next thing, I want to talk about journaling a little bit. So journaling, I have a few tools I recommend here. And the basic one I would say is MyFxBook. So if you want to be able to track your stats automatically from your account and have them uploaded directly to a website, MyFxBook works well for that. So it's a good way to keep track of your stats. This is the website I use to keep track of my Algos statistics. So I have a very easy way to look at my statistics there and have a look at my P&L, have a look at the trades I've taken, have a look at the trades going on a little bit also, and just get a good overview of all the stats. So you can see very clearly here by hours, by day, what your stats are like, and you can filter very easily to see what works and what doesn't work into your own trading. So it's a very useful site. There's a lot to it that you can explore. It's a free tool completely. They have a bunch of ads around, but it's free and it makes it a good one. An alternative to this is called FxBlue. FxBlue is a site that I cannot connect to most of my brokers I use, but they still are working all right. And they have a good way to look at your stats right there online. So you can have a look at this. Again, many ads there, it's free, but it's a good tool. Depending on who you are, you might prefer FxBlue over MyFxBook or the other way around. It really depends on what you prefer. So pick the one you like the best and then just stick to that. On top of that, I recommend using either Trello or Notion for having a look at your kind of trade. So I put my screenshots there myself. It's a good way to look at them. I kind of like Trello a little bit better than Notion for this. I feel like Trello works better, but both of them are really, really similar. So this is what Trello looks like on the browser. Now they also got an app, of course, for iOS, for Android, so you can use this anywhere else you want. But it's a cool way to keep your screenshots in your trades. I keep this very well organized here. I can look back at my trades, see what I did well, what I didn't do well, and how I can improve. So it's a cool way to keep track of this. I've also tried using Notion for this. Notion is having a lot more features. We can actually do some notes. You can go way more in depth into this. I've tried this for my journal. Not a lot that I've done in it yet, but it's also a good alternative if you have Notion or you prefer it, to use it for your trade screenshot. So simple, very similar thing where you can put your screenshots there. You have to upload your photo into this. Then you can have a look at your comments here and things you've taken and what happened in that trade. So it's a good tool also. If you want to use this for your journal, it's a good way to kind of keep your data on a more qualitative level where you look at your trade's quality and the screenshots and how the trade unfolded. So it's good for your analysis. But if you want to have a much in-depth way or much more advanced way to look at your trade statistics and your trade's quality, then I recommend Edgewonk. Edgewonk is a journal that is really well built and has a lot of statistics. Can be quite overwhelming. I don't use Edgewonk at the moment, but I've used it in the past and it helped me a lot to identify some flaws, some issues in my trading and kind of work on it and become better at it. So they have a lot of features. It's a very in-depth dashboard. And the only downside is you need to upload your stats manually, I believe, which can be done easily with some MT4 broker like report. You can do that very quickly. And it's all accessible online, which is cool. But there's a lot more work into it where you have to kind of like enter your trades, enter your screenshots there, kind of keep track of things. But once you are committed to it, there's a lot more you can do with that journal compared to MyFxBook. They have a lot of features and it's fairly affordable. If you want to have a discount on this, I have a link below so you can check it out. I believe you get 10% discount on Edgewonk and you'll be able to grab that. If you want to make a good investment into a quality journal for your trading, this is the one to go for and I definitely recommend it. By the way, if you want me to go through Edgewonk and do a review on it, I'll do it. I've got some old stats in there that I've not looked at for a long time, but I can definitely go back to it and give a review. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to have a whole review on it, and I'll definitely do it if there's enough demand for it. Okay, next we'll talk a bit about backtesting. And backtesting, I've got 3 things that I recommend. The first one is my new favorite. It's called FxReplay. FxReplay is an online backtesting platform where you can backtest through TradingView. Now, I've used it a lot and I don't want to get into it into this video here, but it's a cool software and I want to do a whole review on it in the future, a whole video only on that specific platform. So it's a way to backtest through TradingView. You can place your trades very easily. You get a bit more data on TradingView and you get a cool way to enter your trades directly on the chart. So if you want me to do a review on this, let me know in the comment section below. And also have a discount code for that software if you want to get a saving on it. They have a bunch of pairs and indices and cryptos you can trade. So that's pretty cool. Not a lot still, but you can do most of what you would do with it. And it's a lot better than by default backtesting on TradingView. And you also get some pretty cool reports on your trading at the end. So cool tool. An alternative to this, which is a whole online backtesting platform, is called Tradewell. I've used this one very little, but I definitely liked it. It's a good tool where you can backtest some things. It's very similar. It's kind of like in between algos and manual trading. So you can kind of look at more systematic strategies with this and have a look at backtesting them. They have a lot more instruments you can test on this, including stocks and I believe more Forex pairs also, and cryptos. So it's very nice. You have a lot more analytical data where you can see these curves and these opportunities to become better. So definitely a cool tool. More in depth, can be overwhelming to go through, and I don't use this one directly now because it's a lot of stuff that I don't really need to have a look at. But if you want something more in depth, you can definitely use that app, which is all online. Tradewell works also good. The last one I would recommend here is called Forex Tester, and this is one of the biggest and most popular one out there. It only works on a Windows computer, which is why I don't use it right now. But it's a good tool to backtest. A lot of in-depth stuff there. You can definitely get lost and confused with this one, as opposed to FxReplay. But there's a lot more functions you can go through and a lot of things you can do. And you can also use some custom indicators there, which is cool. FxReplay doesn't allow you to use any kind of indicator that's not in the platform already. So they only have the basic one. But this Forex Tester allows you to go a lot more in depth with the indicators. And that's a really cool tool to use in that case. If you want me to do a review on this one also, I'll do it. Let me know in the comment section below. So these are 3 tools: FxReplay, Tradewell, and Forex Tester. I used to recommend Soft4FX quite a lot, and Soft4FX still is a good platform. However, it's one that is a little bit dated and old and works only on MT4, so for the long term I don't recommend it. It also works only on Windows, which is tougher for me to do at this point because I have a Mac. But if you want to use it, or if you have it already, then Soft4FX is a good one to use anyway. Again, I'll have coupon codes or links below for all these platforms. So you can have a discount and get the best price on them. Okay, last category here is Algos. And Algos, I want to go over it quickly because it's something that not everyone trades. But if you trade Algos, so you want to have Algos as part of your trading, which is something I've done for multiple years now, I have a few resources for you to have a look at. The first one is called Capitalize.ai. It's a website where you can actually create your own algos without any coding. So you kind of put in your rules, very simple entries that are kind of with text, and then you can create algos from them. And these algos can work into different platforms and they can help you trade automatically. You basically integrate with your own broker directly and then just trade these strategies you've created with your algos. You cannot do everything you want with this. It's limited to only things you can basically write in text. A coder could go much more in depth than that, but it's a cool way to kind of create algos without a lot of knowledge into coding and without having to kind of have headaches and everything around it. So it works quite well. I've used it in the past, and most brokers offer this for free if you have an account with them. 8cap is one of them. So with 8cap, you can basically just connect your account, your MT4 account, and create your skills directly for free. You don't have to pay anything there. And that makes it pretty cool. So you can very easily create algos, and for a beginner, this is a good resource to do it faster and better than if you were to kind of start and learn to code and do all this thing yourself. So this one is one I recommend. An alternative for this that is more in depth than that we've used in the past is called Forex Quant. My algo coder Alejandro uses this one a lot in the past, where you can actually code your stuff without too much coding knowledge, and it's very cool, much more in depth than Capitalize.ai, because this one makes you do some charts and some kind of connections and things of the sort. This one is a much more in depth one, but it works quite well. So I believe we have a video on this. I'll leave it linked in the corner if you want to check it out on Strategy Quant and how you can do this and create strategies by yourself with it. You can also test them directly into this platform, which is pretty cool. And the last resource I have for you here is going to be useful a lot for manual trading, but also algos. It's called Equity Curve Simulator, and the website is currently in maintenance, but you can click in these links below and have a look at the other websites I recommend. What this does is showing you based on your win rate and based on your stats for your backtest or your actual live trading, what things you could expect. It's a cool reality check because sometimes we think that if you have a good win rate, we have a good reward to risk, that a strategy is going to be profitable forever after. But it's not very much the case. So if you go here below and you actually put in your stats, let's say I have a $1,000 or let's say I have a $10,000 account and my win rate is 65%. So good win rate. I have a 1-to-1 win to loss ratio, and I have, let's say I want to do, or let's say 50 trades. Based on these stats, I will create some equity curves. And these are sample equity curves. Doesn't mean that you have exactly this, but you could have any one of these equity curves for your next 50 trades. If I have 1% risk per trade and my scale will be normal, so that's fine. And then I start my simulation. So this is what it would look like. So as you can see, the dark black line is going to be the average of these equity curves. But then your equity curve could be anywhere from the top one, so this green one here, or anywhere from like this lower one here, the blue one. Now this shows you that even if after 20 trades or 25 trades you're actually in a loss, things can get better and you can still get profitable from there. Okay, so it shows you all the best and worst case scenario. So you have a look at what you can expect from this. So your equity curve could be somewhere in the middle, could be somewhere on the lower side, could be somewhere on the upper side, but things will over time normalize to being more average, closer to this average line, which is cool to have a reality check here. You also have some stats: biggest drawdown, average max drawdown, minimum equity curve, minimum equity, maximum equity, average performance, and all these things on the side. So it's good to have a look at this to get a better picture and know what you could expect. Sometimes you can get more out of this than just a backtest because you can know what things could look like. And if I change this here to say 100 trades, then you'll have a slightly different picture. Here we go. So there's a lot more you can do with this. So it's a cool way to visualize your progress. And you can also compare your results to this if you want to. So it's a cool tool, very simple to use, but also useful to have a look at if you want to have a cool way to look at your stats. All these resources will be linked in the description below. So if you want to have a look at them, so get some discounts on the paid ones, and have a look at the free ones too. It's all going to be linked below. And if you have any other resource, app, or website you recommend, please leave them in the comment section below. I would love to see them and review them in the future. And I'll definitely do a video on that if you have enough to go over. And that could be cool to share some tools there. So have a look at the comment section if you want to. You have other resources people mentioned there. And with that being said, I'll catch you back here in the next video pretty soon. Ciao.